welcome to my channel. My name's Natasha and this is Kellyanne. Now you may have seen Kellyanne before in our previous videos teaching BSL, but today I'm going to ask Kellyanne some questions and some quite personal questions too. So Kellyanne, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So how do you find being deaf?
I was born deaf. I was £1 12 ounce.
Very small.
3 months early.
So Kellyanne has been deaf ever since she was born, and of course as you got older you rely on your hearing aids a bit more. Do you ever get pain and is it uncomfortable wearing your hearing aids a lot?
No, I'm used to wearing my hearing aids.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. But when I take them out, I can hear nothing.
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 So
at all.
as soon as Kellyanne removes these hearing aids that are so helpful to you, she can hear absolutely nothing. And this is why it's so important for us when we've got the spare time to use it wisely. And you know, check out the videos, and there's different sites, different courses, colleges that teaches BSL, and I think it's really important to learn sign language.
It is important, yeah.
When you talk to a hearing person who doesn't know sign language, you have to rely on lip reading.
Lip reading it, and it's very difficult because you've got focus on your lip reading.
Okay.
And it gets tiring and frustrating trying to understand what that person's saying.
When we're talking, sometimes we can talk super duper fast. You would not know what we're saying if we were really fast. So maybe that's something to consider when you're talking to a deaf person, is to just slow down and they can lip read a bit easier.
Most deaf people, they get tired more than hearing people. They're focused lip reading, they're trying to hear, they're trying to watch your signing. It's all about your eyes. For deaf people, it's about your eyes, not your ears, because they're using the eyes instead of the ears.
Kellyanne, how are you finding lockdown?
Lockdown. I think it's one of the difficult I went through. It's because I live on my own with a dog. And normally I would be going out visiting friends, visiting family, sister, but with the lockdown, I'm stuck in the flat with the dog. I'm relying on FaceTime, I'm relying on texting, so it's something different. It is difficult.
It is difficult, and we're all going through the same thing, you know, we're all in our little bubble now, but this isn't going to last forever, so we're all getting through it together. Now with lockdown for you, Kellyanne, being deaf, of course, if you have any problems with your internet, what you rely on, you can't just ring somebody. That's not the way. You're by yourself. How do you then make a phone call?
There's online chat, there's email. Also, there's an app on my phone called NGT.
Okay.
It's like a three-way conversation with, like, for me texting another person on the phone.
Yeah.
That person's talking to another person on the phone. So it's like a three-way conversation with texting.
That's really helpful, and you find that good?
I find that really easy, and it's really helpful.
Fab. So fantastic resource there. We need to start wearing masks now for our own health and safety, but with masks, Kellyanne, you can't lip read. So what can you do?
That is hard. For example, I went to McDonald's drive-through last week.
Yeah.
Driving through McDonald's, there was a speaker.
Yeah, the speaker.
So I drove past the speaker, went to the window.
Yeah.
And there was a man with a mask. And I thought, oh. So I used my phone, so explaining I'm deaf, what food I would like, please and thank you. Showed the message to the man, and the man accepted it. I know he was talking, but I didn't have a clue what he was saying, and I paid by card and I drove to get my food.
Yeah, so this is something to bear in mind if you are working in McDonald's or supermarket or hospital at the moment. If you have a hearing person, it's going to be different to a deaf person, because the mask situation, you're going to have to remove your mask. That's going to be so helpful.
It's covered. But now I think there's a lot of people are making invisible masks.
Yes.
So we can lip read the mouth.
So if you're making masks at the minute, then maybe it's worth considering the see-through masks as well, because that would be super duper helpful. Or if you're buying a mask, get a see-through one. So in your house, Kellyanne, you need to have different alarms. And I remember growing up when you had an alarm. It's not just any alarm to wake you up, Kellyanne. You can't hear obviously without your hearing aids.
Yeah.
So what type of alarm do you have?
I've got a vibrating alarm.
Okay.
It's got under the pillow.
Yeah.
You can set the time to wake you up, and it vibrates. I mean, it doesn't just, it's like, it totally wakes you up. Also, in my flat, I've got a flashing light.
Yes.
So when people was buzzing my door,
Mhm.
and the whole light flashes like mad.
It's like lightning.
Mad. So I can see who's at the door, and I let them in.
And that's helpful as well, because if you just had a normal doorbell, that's not going to work.
There's a fire alarm as well. So
Fire
if
alarm.
there's a fire alarm, obviously light flashes as well, just let you know it's like a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to be super duper careful with candles, everything like that, health and safety. As soon as you if you're in the shower, you take your hearing aids out, you need all of them resources. You need the vibrating alarm and you need the lights. That's super duper important.
Also, I've got Megan, the dog.
Yes.
Megan, she's very, very helpful because she barks.
Right.
Or sometimes she comes to us, moves her paw, so she can help who's at the door, which is absolutely fantastic.
And with your hearing aids, you also socialise with the hearing community and the deaf community.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say there's any differences, or would you like to combine the hearing and the deaf community together? Would that be nicer?
Me being in, well, obviously I've always grown up with a deaf community.
Yes,
I've always getting on really well with deaf friends. I've got deaf friends all over.
Yeah.
I travel maybe once or twice a month. Everybody get together, have a drink, have a chat. Deaf community, we use sign language.
Yeah.
Face expression. But being with hearing, I don't mind. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Talking, lip reading. Yeah, it's both different.
Both different in their own little ways.
Yeah.
How would you recommend bringing the two communities together? Maybe as a hearing community, if we begin to learn sign language and use it often and more in our day-to-day life, then that would be so much easier to bring these two communities together, because we can communicate.
We're both staying together. I know now there's an interpreter who's hearing, who can sign. I know that now there's a lot of hearing people that are learning to sign.
Yeah.
I know us deaf people would love to bring them in and teach them signing and get together, really.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So growing up, Kellyanne, because you were deaf and I was hearing, we actually went to two separate schools, which I find a bit crazy today. And maybe we weren't as close growing up because we had completely separate lives and separate days, and we just come together in the evening, and our learning and growing up was a lot different.
Oh, yeah.
Would you have preferred if we both went to the same school?
Yeah. We both went to different school. She went to a local school. I had to travel by taxi, which is about an hour.
It was long, yeah.
It was an hour there and an hour back. It was tiring as well because I had to get up early.
And of course you weren't just in a school with deaf people either. You had all different types of disabilities.
Yes.
How did you find that?
Actually, I think it's okay because we know people who have learning difficulties, they're like one of us.
Yeah.
We've got a disability as well.
Yeah.
Not just being deaf, it's disability as well, yeah.
Thank you so much, Kellyanne, for letting us be a part of your day-to-day life and have an understanding of what it's like growing up to be deaf and the everyday struggles sometimes with hearing aids and having to lip read. So thank you. I think we really will appreciate that. Now, Kellyanne, before we go, what is your favourite memory with me, your lovely sister?
Lovely? You sure? No, I'm only joking. Oh, what memories I've got with you? Well, what can you remember?
Tick-tock, tick-tock. No lovely memories.
Oh,
it's hard, isn't it?
I think I remember when she was little, she had a Tesco bag and she was doing some painting. Do you remember that?
What was that painting?
I'll ask Dad for the photo. Dad might have a photo.
If we find the photo, we will share it. Do you mean the Tesco bag? I was wearing it.
Yeah, you were wearing the Tesco bag. I'm sure it was. It was when we were living in Ardisia in Scotland.
Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
So this is how you sign Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
There you go. Sign language wise, is there anything for the super duper basics, maybe one sentence that you would recommend everybody to learn?
Hello, what's your name?
Yeah.
My name is KellyAnn.
My name is Natasha. Finger spelling, that's super duper important because essentially you could finger spell a lot of things. So I would recommend finger spelling. That might be a good start. Kellyanne, do you know any jokes?
Jokes? No. I've got no jokes at all.
And Kellyanne, actually you come and watch myself and Matthew in our shows. When we're talking, we should. Sometimes we do at pantomimes, we have an interpreter, which is so helpful, but we can't always afford to bring an interpreter on the road with us touring. And that's something we will look at in the future if anyone wants to give us a loan, something for that. If anyone wants to volunteer. So watching our shows, we do magic, and that's very visual. That's good for you to watch.
It's good. I like that. I like watching visual magic stuff. That was really interesting. Last year I went to do a panto. Yeah. The first time we had the interpreter, and this was one I really enjoyed it.
You really enjoyed it?
I understand the story from the start to the beginning, from the start to the end.
That was Aladdin at the De Montfort Hall. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and she was a fantastic interpreter as well.
She was really good.
She was really good, and she had to keep up with the lines, and they were so fast and so many lines. But she just did it, didn't she?
Fantastic.
She was not far behind what was going on in the story. She knew, and she did different pantomimes every day as well. And the fact that she remembered all of those scripts and was able to translate on the spot was incredible. And you really appreciated it, and as well with all of the audience, they loved it.
There was other deaf as well.
Yeah.
I've noticed. Yeah, there was other deaf people there, and they really enjoyed it.
So it's
this is why it's important for deaf to get involved. Yeah. And making sure it's all about equal and not just hearing. Yeah. Deaf as well. So yeah.
That's the same as the cinema.
Yeah, the cinema, with the subtitles.
Yeah. Do you find that it's hard to get a screening with subtitles, or can you find that it's
actually quite easy, but it's only certain days or certain dates. It's like certain times as well. Yeah. Most of the time at the cinema they've got all the time. With the subtitles you've got to look at the times and the days. When's it available?
So it's only certain times, limited, isn't it? Yeah. Is there anything you find on Amazon, Netflix, YouTube? Is there any struggles with finding subtitles, or is that available?
No. Netflix, they always have subtitles.
Brilliant.
Disney Plus, they've always had subtitles, which is great. Great. No.
But if you're putting a video up, if you're a YouTuber and you're putting a video on YouTube, then just make sure you have got the subtitles on. That's super important. And you can do that with a click of just one button. We're having a good chat here, Kellyanne. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah. Can't thank you enough. And thank you so much for watching too. I hope you found this helpful and interesting. And don't forget to subscribe. Catch you later. Bye.